Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on this hastily arranged show. It's all Bear and Southside. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, guys. How are you to it?
Aye, evening, Ox. Good to be on with your good self and Albert. Looking forward to a wee talk about the Rangers.
How's Albert? How's life treating you, mate?
Superb, mate. Superb. I can't argue. It's, Rangers are not getting beat, so I'm happy, mate. That's my happy summer.
Too many draws, but...
Too many draws, aye. Aye, good, mate. Good yourself?
I'm okay, mate. I'm okay, mate. Yeah. How's Southside?
Aye, good, mate. Good to get away and get a few fresh batteries and that. Somewhere different, a bit of sunshine, and then come back to the rain. So
I was trying that the night before I was disturbed, yeah.
Oh, have you got no rain down? Have you got no rain there? No. Have you no rain, have you not? Or be under a brolly?
No. That was strawberries and cream on a recliner, mate, enjoying myself. Right, okay, where were we? Right, fixtures of the day. But before we go to that, gentlemen, right, it's outside. We'll go straight to the tune because I'm going to go to Albert first, right? Albert, your thoughts on what's happened in the club last 10, 11 days, mate? What are you?
Roll going away and McKenna's coming in. They're all going away, man. It's fair enough. If he wants to go, he wants to go. We don't know the full story behind the scenes or whatever happened, but if he's decided to go, it's fine with me. I'm not a problem. And it's nice to see what broke the cycle regarding sacking managers. At least he walked out and we get some money for it. So I've not got a problem with that at all, mate. Not at all. McKenna's coming in. Well, I don't know. He's going to be judged on the same sort of premises as all the rest of them. He's got to get results. It's as simple as that. The only thing I'll say about McKenna's, he's time served. I'll give him that. He has time served in the Scottish game. That's a big plus for him. In fact, it's the only plus for him. Let's be honest about it. But no, I'm not against him.
But as he signed to serve time, say at the plumbing, and he's maybe moving to technical engineering, mate. Is that the difference?
Aye, basically, aye. He's what he's done in the game so far as a manager is not that impressive to me, mate. It's everybody's going on about it, but it's not that impressive if you look at it. So he's got a lot to prove to himself and to the fans because he's not really achieved that much. And he's got this team to try and get over the line, which he didn't manage last year with Hearts, but he's got to do it with Rangers. He's got to get this into a winning mentality and a winning team, which is no mean task. And I'm not against him. I'm not saying he can't do it, but he's got a job in his hand. But the big problem for me, big problem for me, and it needs to be addressed before anything else, if we can do it, is we need to sort out this SFA, SPFL. And get rid of Colin and get as many of these corrupt officials out of the game as we possibly can, because nothing's going to change to happen. So that's going to be his big problem. It's his problem at Hearts, it's Kavanagh's problem, it's Rangers' problem, and it's the supporters' problem. We've got to get rid of these people.
Problem, mate.
Big time, mate. But it's always been there for Scottish football. They've just didn't want to recognise it, mate. But now it's happened to teams outside of Rangers. Now they're all starting to pay attention. So I don't see anything changed on that front, but I know we're not here to discuss that tonight. We're here to discuss the manager and the fixture lists, which is fair enough, but it all pales into insignificance if we don't actually get the officials sorted, mate, because it's rinse and repeat as far as I can see. Nothing's changed for last year, and we're all getting excited about new managers, players coming in. We'll talk about the fixture list, like normal football fans should be talking about. But as far as I'm concerned, none of it matters. None of it matters until we get this sorted out, what happened last year. And it's no our fight. It was Hearts' fight, but they ran away. But it needs to be addressed, mate. And heads need to roll. Heads would need to roll. Because that league was decided all wrong, mate. It was referees and poor decisions that decided the league, and that can't be allowed to stand, mate, without heads rolling.
I get it, and I think I'll make a prediction that the team that were close to winning the league last year, their support will turn their anger on the team which took their manager and their captain above board and not try to cheat them out of anything. But there you go, just the way I see the madness of Scottish football. Right, so what you're saying is Derek McInnes, very experienced, all there, knows the game, knows the club, but he's moving up a level. Is that fair?
Oh, it's definitely fair, that. He's definitely moving up a level.
Right. Southside, what's your same question, your good self, mate? What's your take on the whole thing?
Danny Rowe, listen, you'll come in for a bit of criticism. Still believe the players, let them down as many as what they've done the other managers and other players in the past. Certain players have let their manager down. And if you looked at when he came in to before the split, he had more points than that mob across the City and Hearts put together for what he managed to get us today. And then it imploded in the last 6 games. I think possibly certain things behind the scenes probably sped it up. Maybe players turned out against him. Maybe with Tavernier and stuff coming out with what he said at the time he was leaving, when we didn't have to before the Motherwell game, because that was the most important fixture that we had to face. So that might have alluded to certain things. And then obviously things spiralled on the other things for there. Listen, Jurgen Klopp's came and headhunted him and took him. So he obviously sees something in him, and he's went there. Usually when we lose a manager, we're sacking him, which we've been doing relentlessly for a while. So the fact that somebody's came and actually wanted our manager because they think in time he'll do a good job, but at Salzburg, then that's fair enough. McInnes, I think, comes in with a lot more experience than we had back in the day when we tried to get him. I think he knows the Scottish game. I think he knows how to set up teams against Rangers. I think he knows where our weaknesses have been over the last number of seasons when he's faced us. He's looked at the players, the mentality's been wrong. He knows Scottish football inside out. He's served his apprenticeships. I think the only time, I know when he went down to Bristol City to firefight, I believe, because I remember watching a wee documentary on it, and they said they had to get rid of all the ironing players at Bristol City as soon as he walked in the door. That caused a bit of resentment, I think, in the dressing room, and although he had a hard job today down there, and then he obviously come back up the road, and he's gained the experience with the rest of the clubs. I think he's a man manager. I think the players will like him. I think he treats his players with respect. So I think it's probably the right fit at the right time now to come to the club. But I think you'll get the place. I think you'll get it in time. As much as he can at the start of the season. Also, I believe he'll get most of this squad because they've not been up for it. Mentality's weak in the dressing room. I think he'll look for leaders and try and get players with the right mentality. So I think we've given him a 3-year contract. So obviously Kavanagh and that have looked at it and seen what we actually need. And I think if you look about it at the moment, he seems to be the right person with the right fit. He's got the experience of being at the club. Same as Barry did, actually, when he was given an interim job. But he's been there, he's played, he knows where the demands are. And I'm sure he'll want the demands met. And it'll be his character, and you'll see it in his team. And I think he'll make us a hard-working team. I think so. I'm happy that he's coming in now at this time, and hopefully he'll bring success to the club.
Listen, I wish him all the best. I accept a lot of what you said there. Look, you need a bit of luck in sport as part of the game. Also take all bears when things are against everybody else. Let's just say the dice are loaded. That'd be fair, all bear. I get that also. Yeah, and maybe the rest of the teams in Scotland might start waking up. I also agree with Albert. I think Scottish football needs root and branch for Doncaster. McClellan, maybe the boy was with Thistle as well. It needs the clubs to get together and sort it out for the good of the game. And that rolls nicely into the fixtures. A Friday night fixture in August, yeah. Right, so we're getting a paltry sum to mess everybody about. I don't understand it, but we'll come here when we do the fixtures. But on McInnes, I accept your point. I think that we're signing somebody with experience in Scottish football. We're signing somebody who knows the club. He'll get his recruitment in for the standard needed to win the league. He's then got to mould a team out of that. He'll get all the pieces of the jigsaw, hopefully, for the board all better. And then it's up to him to put them in the right order. Yeah?
Yep. He'll get back. There's no doubt about that. He'll get back. It's my concern is he doesn't give people second chances. Not. I mean, I said to you the day about that. I says I hope he doesn't give people second chances. It's a case of the assessment's been done in this squad, and we're not talking. I know Southside was talking about their down tools. That needs to be looked at, and you need to get the bottom of that collapse. But I hope the assessment has been done and it's handed into Cabinet and the board, and they know the state of play when it comes to all these players, where they should be, either out the door or put on a short-term contract or a small extension. People that should be extended contracts get their extended contracts, blah, 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 so on. I hope it doesn't start going, just for example, one player, Butland, decide we're saying we need to get rid of him. We need to get a better keeper, there's no doubt about it. And now he comes in and says, well, I quite like Butland, I like what I've seen when we've played against him and blah, blah. If you do that, you're not taking the advice, you're not taking the experience what happened over the last 2 years with certain players that have been at the club at that length of time, and you're not taking the fresh in your mind stuff for last season, because there's a lot of players in there at the start of the season and at the end of the season are just garbage, total garbage. And it has to be said, mate, we had a chance there to win that league. And let's be totally, brutally honest about it. We should have won the league, but in our own merits, mate, we should have won that league. But we didn't. We fell flat in our face. So I hope he takes that into consideration, because if he goes with them again, the same thing will probably going to happen again. Well, don't be surprised if it does. If they turn it around and win the league, that's a pleasant surprise. But more than likely they'll fall flat in their face again, because they've not got the cojones and the desire to go and win these leagues and these games, which that's what it takes in Scottish football. Just show the desire to do it, and you will do it. Some of the players are good football players, but the hearts of chickens. It's not good, mate. We all know this. We've seen it over the years with other players.
We have, mate. We have. Look, mate, it's getting the blend right. Look, better players help you, but better players don't necessarily give you the best team. Southside, it's finding that blend. Yeah.
Aye, it might take him a couple of transfer windows, probably, to get the right mixture, but I don't think he'll be kidded. He knows these players that are in that squad now, what he's played against last season. It's a good chance to look at our club for the outside for a long time. So he'll know what's needed. He'll know the right type of player and the mentality that what's required, and he'll install that into the team. I think he's got that about him. I think he's a good manager. I don't see him being kidded by the job which is in front of him. He might bring in a player or two. It might be a wee bit more experienced that we might not think. That he might think, you know what, it'll be a short-term gain now, and this will put a bit of stability into this squad. And then there'll be players that will obviously target for the longer term. For me, I think it'll be interesting to see how he guts the squad, because the squad probably needs. I mean, we could go through some of the players as well. All bears alluded to Jack Butland. You could look at, if you look at our midfield, Raskin, is he the type of player you think Derek McInnes would want to work with? Or is he a player that we think we're going to get rid of him anyway because he served his purpose, he's done his time, and I think
this is the time, mate. This is the time.
Aye, Diamande, Conor Barron, and you might even have a look at Asgard and think, we can see you're a talented player, but you're not showing much heart or desire in that Rangers team. And is that a player that you'd want to keep, and could he change him? Because I think he's got a wee bit for him with changing players and squads, making them sort of better. We'll be talking about that later on as the night goes on. That he's helped players become better players when he's been at Aberdeen and when he's been at St Johnstone, when he's been at Hearts. So can he change that mentality into maybe one of the players that he might want to keep? If we use Asgard as an example, can he change him? Can he get better, more out of him? We'll see. He's been here a season, so he'll be more experienced. And it'll be up to him to see whether he's the type of player that he'll want to keep. And then I think he'll want to grit it. And then we'll try and get players in with the right mentality. It might not be the most skillful player or flair player, but they might have the right attitude and mentality to do a job, to make sure that we get on a winning run and we start to win things. Also, I think he's good at the man management stuff and that. Any ex-player that spoke about him in the past, I've always said he's a good man manager. He's a manager that wants you to go out and play for him. So I think he's got the qualities. I think he respects his players. But I think he knows what type of player that we'll need to get at the club box. I don't think he'll be kidded by that.
Aye. The trouble is you'll not get everybody you want, and that's where you get the pieces, mate, and then you've got to mould them. It's never a perfect world. I don't think there's any team gets every player they want all better.
No, even these ones that are splashing hundreds of millions. No. You don't always get them. So that's a fact of life. But he needs to know where the weaknesses lie within the team. We all know. We see it week in and week out. He knows it because he picked these Hearts team to players. So he knows the weaknesses. Whether they can get the players in that's going to that we actually need. It's difficult, mate, because there's a lot of players in the squad taking up wages and just taking up space and producing nothing. These are the players he needs to try and get out the door, which is not going to be easy, mate. It's not him, it's the team. He just identifies the players he doesn't want, and it's the background team that's supposed to get rid of them. Difficult, but we all know that they're on good wages and they're not going to move. So we can't afford to have a big bloated squad. No club can really be honest about it. But it's one of the things that he needs to move them. It's going to be really difficult. But again, where do we start with this? Where do we start?
You've got to bring players in, mate. You've got to bring players in, and I'll tell you why, mate. And I know you're going to come to first, and I'll let you come back in with that, mate. I'll tell you why. Because obviously, our first team squad is depleted. Nobody guys that's left so far. The retirements and the loanees, so what bodies doing, mate. They numbers have to be replaced within reason, mate. So you've got that, and then you've got the quality. And where would you start, Albert? I've wrote it down.
It's defence for me, mate. It needs to be the defence and the midfield. The midfield is the midfield's non-existent. Let's be honest about it. The defence is weak because the lone players are away, and the player retired. The goalkeeper's crap, so that it really needs overhaul. But the midfield is dreadful, mate. Absolutely dreadful. There's no getting away from it. As I said in January, we would bring players. I'd have brought the midfield players in, mate. He brought one in. But I'd have concentrated there. I'd have really concentrated there. Raskin needs to go, mate, because every manager that's managed them so far tell you the same thing. He's difficult. He's a difficult player to manage. We don't need that difficulty in the squad, mate. Difficult players, if you're an outstanding player, you're doing it on the park, and you go, well, you've got to cut him a bit of slack because he is doing it on the park. He's not doing it on it. He does it sometimes, but not enough. So he has to go. He's got 2 years left in his contract. As you say, ideal time. You go now. So we can't afford to mince about with this any longer. These pandering to players that give you very little. I know he gives you a lot at some games, but no other games. No enough games. So no, go. So me, it's a midfield. The defence and midfield definitely need looked at. But we all like the sexy players, the forwards and all that. We all want them and the players that get you off your seat. Aye, of course you do. But winning teams are no built with that. With the players, they're built with defences and good midfields. That's what they're built on. That's the foundation of any good team and any great team. And that's what it's built for. So definitely a defence and midfield. And they've only got a certain amount of money. It's got to be defence because we've not got the numbers anyway in defence. So there's got to have to be the defence just for that reason. But if you're building a team, you always build it for the back. Everybody knows that.
Aye. If you think about it, mate, if you think back to that final 5 fixtures, mate, if we scored goals in every game, mate. You keep 5 clean sheets, score the goals, you win the league. So your point's valid. Southside, it's not the first time you put up an argument for the defence. Let's hear
it. I can't really. Most of them, I think McInnes builds teams for the back. You look at all the times that he's had, the clubs he's been at, and he's used a mixture of sometimes a youth, sort of young up and coming players, and a bit of experience. He's took the boy Finlay. If he Kilmarnock with him, the Hearts, he did say it wasn't in Tony Bloom's remit, the type of player, but he said he wanted him because he would come in and do a job for what he wanted to do, to help run about him. So I remember him saying that that's probably the only player that he managed to get through his own choice. But he's laughing about it. So obviously, if you look at what he was trying to do with analytics, he wouldn't be a player that they would have went for, but he sees it as he wanted him in defence. Short term, but I don't really want to get down the road of bringing Hearts players in, if I'm honest. But it might be one thing you might look at and just think, you know what, I'm bringing him here, he'll be a squad player, he'll come in, he'll start. If he can't identify maybe regular centre-backs, he might decide, that's the road I'm going down, I'm bringing him in. I know he's a blue nose, Stuart Finlay. So he'd certainly come. But Rang age sort of, it's a bit old, but listen, it might be a short-term thing. It might last a season and a half. We've done it with Davy Weir. He stayed 4 seasons. So you never know. But I think you'll build with the defence. I think you'll get something structured there. He likes sort of big players. Even at Aberdeen, he had Constantine, he had McKenna when he was there as well. He sort of day type of players. So there's a good chance that he might get down that road. The type of player that he might want for defence. Cosgrove was another one that he had to brought in, young boy at Aberdeen, and made him into a player. So he's got that in his locker rocks that he's not so scared to sort of bring in the odd player. I know Rangers are a standard above Aberdeen and all that, and should be, but he might give 1 or 2 younger players a chance, which if I've been linked to the boy Luke Graham, who's young, 22, for Dundee, so if I maybe linked to him and he fancies him as a player and we get him, then it's maybe one he'll bring in and play, and he maybe try and put experience round about him. He might reinvent John Souttar, you never know, or Souttar might get moved on if there's anybody interested in taking him. But I think you'll build for the Backhawks. I think you'll build a steady back five. A back 5 or 6 players in the squad to make sure that he's covered in all areas, because I think he will like to play different systems. Also, might not always play a back 4.
Mm-hmm. Check the chat, mate. I don't know if Stuart Finlay is. Yeah, alluding to maybe. If it is, it's very, very unusual. But look, he'll get his own players within reason. We'll not get them all. We need bodies in all there. I think you're right. We need bodies all over the pitch, and then we don't know who's going to come in, and some assets. If they go, my view's the same. If they want to go, there's no point in keeping them. You move on. But I like to think Derek McInnes knows, because we've got to aim. I would say, what do you think? 95 points to definitely win the league. I know last year you'd have walked it, but you've got to accept it. That was a low base, mate, so we're going to have to get a lot more points. And it starts on Friday. Late July, Albert, away at Dundee United.
I mean, it's quite simple, mate. To touch on the point of who do we need or where do we start, you've got to start the goalkeeper, mate. You've got to remember when we won 55, our goalkeeper was the player of the year, won the player of the year, our goalkeeper. And if our goalkeeper last year won player of the year award last year, we would have won the league, mate. This year, last year, we would have won the league. So you're going to start the goalkeeper. Mate. It's nagging away for it. That's where it all starts for. If you get a good goalkeeper in here, we used to say it with Andy Gorham, he guarantees you 12 to 15 points a year. And if Butland would have done it last year, 12 to 15 points, you've scooshed the league, you've won the league, no bother. But he didn't. So you look at it and say, that's 2 or 3 years with him. He needs to go. He needs to go. You need to get a top keeper in. That's my priority. We get a top keeper in that in between the six, and let's move it for there. And you're right, mate. It's he'll not get them all, but he'll get some, but he'll not get them all. And we need a repair job all over the park. There's no getting away from it. We really do. But how many we need and how many we're going to get is two different things, mate. But me, it's goalkeeper right away. As you say, we're starting the visit the 31st of July, and it's got to be 3 points. It's got to be start winning straight through the word go. No hesitation, mate. There isn't any room for, you need to bed him into the job. He should know the job backside forward, mate. He's played against us that many, he's managed against us that many times, and he's played for us. There isn't any settling in period. He knows every ground in Scottish football because he's been in near enough every ground in Scottish football, especially the Premiership. He's been to them all. So there's no surprises for him there. Might be surprised next year, because I think Kilmarnock's got a grass park next year. I think they have. So that's a wee bit of a surprise, I suppose. But he managed down there, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. But at the end of the day, as you say, he needs to start winning for the off, mate. There's no getting away from it. He's not going to get a bedding in period. I mean, most of the players, the managers were brought in, have no even didn't know much about the league, didn't get any bedding in period. It was a win right away. So he's not going to be any different. And by the way, I'm not saying Dundee United is any great threat or any problem that we should be really concerned about. But it'd be just nice to get after a winning start, mate. Get the ball up and get the team up and running.
Aye. It's a swing game away at Tannadice. We didn't have a great record there last season. I think we had 2 draws, didn't we? If I think back. Look, right, gentlemen, we get the phone lines opened. Did you get that message through side?
Aye, I've seen it.
All right, mate. Listen, let's hear from you if you're about.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Yes, come and join us. Give your thoughts on Derek McInnes. Maybe some thoughts on Danny Rowe. He's gone. That's it. You don't look back, do you, Southside? You move forward.
Aye. He's released a statement, Danny Rowe, thanking the club and supporting him. His time at Rangers, but I don't. Just soldier on and look for who's coming in. I've always going to back the manager that comes in. It'll be interesting to see what type of players. I mean, I was saying earlier, see somebody jumped on the feed already, said we're no project players at Aberdeen. I wasn't trying to say we'd project players. What I'm trying to say is he gave you a chance at certain clubs. He brought in David Watson at Kilmarnock, for instance, who was in their youth setup, and gave him a chance. And we were linked with him on a number of occasions. The boy played in centre of the park for him. He gave certain players at Aberdeen a chance, young boys. They went on and played. He also gave people like Kenny McLean a chance, Lewis Ferguson a chance, McKenna a chance at Aberdeen. They're all new Scotland internationals. So back in the days, gave young players a chance to go and play. He trusts some of them. That's what I was trying to say. As people jump in this early. And I'm thinking you might give a couple, if we've got a couple of players that he sees good enough, that are coming through the youth ranks, maybe no for this season, but maybe next season, then there's a chance that he might play them or give them a chance. Paul Meesel's a player who we've had out on loan. He's been away serving his time, as Albert will know who I'm talking about. as we've watched the B team on many occasions. Aye. He's one that might come back, and that might be a type of player that he might try and progress into the team over a period of time. Obviously, Bailey Rice has just re-signed. Whether a club maybe wants to take him on loan or no, and that's the right thing that he might want to do, then that might happen. But there's one or two players that we've got in the B team that have been farmed out that McInnes might, in time, give a chance to and try and introduce him into the first team as he goes along. It's better to have your own homegrown players, and then if they become successful in that, then you can move them on if they show a lot of interest to other clubs. But I'm just trying to say that he's worked with certain players. He brought the boy in for St Johnstone as well, the boy Kennedy, when he worked for him. He brought him into Kilmarnock, a winger. He likes wingers. So he brought him in and made him a better player. He made the boy Watson a better player. So he's got a thing about it where he can help players and progress them. And it might so happen that he might manage to work with one or two of your players. And even what type of players do you think you'd be interested in? Would you? And I know I've seen the comments, that his dad said he's no coming in, or I'm not interested in what Derek Ferguson says. If the money's right and Rangers really want Lewis Ferguson and they put a bid in, then I don't see why he's not going to come. I don't see why he wouldn't come. And if he can come, he's worked with him before as well at Aberdeen. And there might be a chance that he comes in and he makes him a cornerstone. If you're interested in winning things and he believes in the club, believes he's the type of player that can come in and do a job, and that he's at the right age, and you want him here for 4 or 5 seasons to be successful, then the time's right then, obviously, to go and get somebody like him and other players like him. So that'll be one that I'm going to watch to see if we really want to go and get him. See the type of player you think we're going to bring in.
There'll be a lot of speculation. It's 2 and 2. It doesn't always add up to 4. Well, it does, but you know what I mean, Albert. Look, I don't know how good a player the boy Ferguson is, and I'll tell you why. I've not watched him week in, week out. His career's always been an upward step. We've seen him at Hamilton, then we've seen him at Aberdeen, and he played well against us. I don't know how he done week in. He's now part of the international squad. He's went and progressed in Italy. So watch this space, mate. If it happens, it happens. But I think there'll be a lot of speculation surrounding that. A, the name. A, B, he's managed them before. And C, it's a story when there's nothing really happening apart from a World Cup, which is domestically. So watch this space. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know if it won't. But we'll see. Albert.
Aye, it's, as you say, you never know what they're here, do you? The way they're going to pan out. But I was just thinking about the youth players that Southside was going on about, is to give them a chance in there. See, as far as I'm concerned, this youth thing doesn't work. It just, the way it sits, it just doesn't work. It's nonsense. It's just going on for too long. We've been watching this for years and years. Now there's no youth football. So as far as I'm concerned, apart from getting rid of it, which, because it's no good to us, is see, I don't know how many players you like to put on loan, but I would expect 11 of these young, at least 11 of these young boys to go out on loan. No youth football anymore. Done with that, carry on. They need to go out and start playing football, men's football. So every Rangers themselves as a club should have three players for every position, is the way I see it. And this is the way the youth should work. 3 players for every position for the first team, and one of them is a youth. So that youth should be out on loan, and the other 2 should be fighting for the first team place. When the season ends, there's probably going to be a sell on for the player that's playing in the position and holding the position during his plays the next game. You sell him and promote the next one up, and then the youth goes into him, and then the next youth goes into the third place. It should be that all over the park, mate. That's the only way it's going to work in Scottish football, because there isn't any youth football, and you can't keep these boys sitting in the stands and no playing games, and they're no development. You're just wasting people's wasting their
question
time,
for you, Albert. Question, and I know it's difficult for you, really difficult. Know the question, the answer, yes or no, right? No, if buts, then maybes. Yes or no, right?
Right.
Would Finlay Curtis have played in the World Cup if he'd have stayed at Ibrox for that?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
There you go. You've answered the question, mate. And I don't even think he'd get that many minutes when he'd have stayed with us. So we've developed and we moved on, and I know you made your point during the season. Are you in the same view, Southside?
Aye, it was good for him to go to Kilmarnock, but we chose not to give him the game time in the minutes at Ibrox. That's what annoys me. And as you keep saying, as much as you say about the youth team and this and that, you've got to give players a chance. And the boy's skillful. The boy's got something about him. The boy doesn't lack. He'll try. He's a hard-working player. He's got a bit about him. And it's about us bringing it out in him. Probably the right type of manager for him was Neil McCann and getting the regular game time. But he's another one. If he hadn't been down there and done as well as what he did, Rangers would have still got rid of him. Then he might have been he might have went and Bury gave him away for virtually nothing. Then he could have gone on and turned it round somewhere else. You've got to give players a chance, Hawks. People go, it's not this season isn't a time for project. But Finlay Curtis is a project player. And hopefully he will get game time this year. He deserves to get it. Because I think he's a talent. I think he's got goals in him. I think he can create. And I think McInnes likes wide players. So why would we persevere with a foreigner that's going to turn up 1 week or no turn up 1 week when you've got a young boy that's a Rangers supporter, been there all his days, wants to play for the club, will do his utter best every time he goes on the park, whether it works for him or no. He'll no lack the effort and desire because he wants to play for Glasgow Rangers. He's been brought up supporting them. And the boy's got talent. So why would you not play him or somebody that you want to bring in and pay stupid money for, who'll turn up 1 week or maybe no turn up the 4 week? He doesn't have the heart and desire that boy's going to give you. That's always been my argument. You've got to give them a chance, and you need to have the talent and ability. And the boy's got talent and ability. It's about us bringing it out on him, bringing it out of him, and making him successful at the club.
I would have played Tony Curtis before I'd have played Scott Wilson, mate.
Well, that's the thing about it. Don't get me wrong. When Scott Wilson's name was mentioned, everybody went, "Oh, aye."
I know. I get it.
But there was not many people there that said, "Don't bring him." But when you see what he's contributed since he came in the door, and even the other one, Gasamara, on the other side, we've went out and we bought Thingy. We've not really gave a chance to either. The one that was out injured for a while. What's his name? He's just
Ant-Man.
back. Ant-Man. Another one that we've out and shelled money out. And now maybe we're playing him out of position because he plays wide left normally for his country. But we've been playing him on the right. But we're away spending money on him when we had a boy there and it was down to us to give him game time every other week and develop him into a player. But we chose to give him to Kilmarnock to develop him and then sent him back. Now he's been picked in the Scotland squad. Now he's actually playing in a World Cup. So
that decision was right. That decision was right.
Probably in hindsight, aye, but we could have brought him on anyway and gave him the game time.
No,
we could have if we chose to.
He wouldn't have got the game time, mate. When he got his chance.
You're saying he wouldn't have. Why would they know?
Because
why would they know? With two winners at each side of the park that were rotten.
Because we're Rangers, mate. That's why I'll not got one. Because we are Rangers. You got to build that into your argument, mate. He gets only Kilmarnock because he gets against with Kilmarnock because it's Kilmarnock. You'll not get a game with Rangers. You'll not be allowed to develop. It's no Rangers that are not going to develop them. It's the other teams you're playing against, mate. They're just not letting him develop. So he gets down there, he's got the freedom to develop. And I think with Rogue's decision to put him down there, it was a brilliant decision, mate. Yeah. And it worked out beautifully
for the boy, for us and everybody.
Oh, more importantly for the boy, it worked out beautifully for me. He's not an We gave them a boy. We've gave them a boy. They've gave us back a man who scores goals, a scoring winger who scores goals in an international player. That's what they've gave us back, mate. That worked out beautifully. I wish we put over your youth out and they all come back like that, mate. Because with the stay at Ibrox, they're not getting developed, mate. It just doesn't happen because everybody's playing Rangers. We're not playing Rangers. We are Rangers. So when we put a boy in that blue jersey and put him out in that park, he's playing against players that are raising their game by at least 20%, maybe even 30%. But if you put him down at Kilmarnock, he's playing them on an even playing field, mate. They're not trying as hard as they would against Rangers. And he's got a chance to develop. And the boys took his chance with both hands. And I expect every boy that goes out on loan to do what Curtis does. You've got to be one of the best players in the team you're going to and turn into the best player in that team if you want to play for Rangers. That's the standard, mate. It's required. You'll not get it at Ibrox. You're not getting enough time to get it. And you're not getting enough time. experience to handle the pressure that's coming your way. It's on the park pressure I'm talking about now. It's against other teams. I think I can understand what you're talking about, and I can agree with a lot of it. But the development, and we're not doing it because we just don't do that. There is reasons, mate, and that's the reason. We are Rangers. You've just got to factor it in. There's nothing else you can do but factor it in. The boys proved the point. He's proved to all the other boys as well. It can be done. If Rangers put you out on loan, don't put your head down and bury your spirit and say, oh, that's me, I'm not going to be a Rangers player. Anything but. They actually put you out on loan because they want you to be a Rangers player. They're saying to you, away down there and show them, show us, show everybody what you've got. Curtis done it. Done it in spades, mate. And you're saying, right now, the rest of the boys, get down there and show us what you've got. Everyone, go for the goalkeepers right through, mate. That's the facts, mate. We've tried to bring boys through before. It doesn't happen. We put them into that team and they get the crap kicked out of them. They can't handle the pressure, you know what I mean? They're no up to, physically no up to it. They're not getting a time to get on the ball the way they want time. By the way, the speed of the game, you grow into a speed of a game as the levels you go up. You all know that. And you start off at the beginning, you play at that level slow, but you have to quicken up, speed of thought, and all the rest of it. So you get time when you go to the other teams. But I want all our players out and loan, mate. I don't want a youth team anymore. It's no good. It's not doing anything for anybody involved in it. It's not doing anything for the coaches. It's not doing anything for the players. And the players are the most important thing in that because they're the future. You want them to come through, all of them, as many as possible. Curtis has showed you the way. It's worked out nice. It worked out really nice.
He's not getting the minutes if he stays at their club. That's the problem. So you wouldn't have developed.
Aye, well, what about Lyle Cameron then? He was a young boy at Dundee. He was doing well. We broke my Ibrox, and whether we froze him out, manager didn't like him or whatever. Put me Aberdeen. So he's coming back. So does he deserve a chance? Is he coming back a better player? Is he coming back ready to play for Rangers?
No, for me, mate.
I don't think he was good enough to sign for his team, to be honest with you, sorry. It's he's coming back. I mean, by the way, I don't even know how he got on at Aberdeen. Was he good with Aberdeen? Did he play the match? Play this? Pardon?
He done okay, yeah.
But nobody's ranting and raving about him. No, I mean, nobody's saying to you like they're ranting and raving about Curtis. Nobody's ranting and raving about wee Cameron. And I agree, he was a good wee player at Dundee, definitely, and especially against us.
He's a good football player.
Aye, I don't doubt it for a minute, mate. But he's no hit headlines, put it that way. And that was a poor Aberdeen team. Let's be honest, you should be shining in that team.
So if you're looking at it, is he a Derek McInnes type of player? Do you think Derek McInnes can come in, he buzzes about, he finds space, he gets on the ball, he works hard, he runs about. He's got an eye for goal. He gets in the box in a system that suits. It doesn't always need to be about flair players. Is he a player
nasty, but that's what McInnes likes. He likes nasty players, mate.
Well, aye, you might.
And I don't disagree with him. I like nasty players myself because
you like nasty people, but
I'm fed up with us getting bullied and the crap kicked out. I'm fed up with that. I'm just time we dish this out. And McInnes especially likes nasty players, mate. And if we Cameron can turn into a wee needle, no one I'm talking, he's got the football ability, we know that. But can he turn into one of the wee needly players and one of the wee pains that you're going, we'll have to throttle that wee trump in? I mean, you're playing against him. Can he turn into that type of player? If he can turn into that type of player, he'll fit into McInnes' team.
Would you take Cammy Devlin then?
No, for me, mate.
He's not good enough, but that's the type of player. You're right. That's the type of player. I don't think he's good enough to play for Rangers. He's not got the ability. I don't think he's got the ability Cameron's got. But he's definitely got the temperament. He's got better temperament and the nastiness. He's definitely got that. In spades.
No, it'll be interesting to see what he does. And listen. Young Lyle Cameron, if he comes back, we have to eat humble. We've been mine before. I mean, I know you two are rang a lot, but I can remember once, but he'll come back. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think you maybe find the boy goes out and loan again, mate, because off your hat to the boy, he could have sat. He went and wanted to play football and try and develop his career because he's only got that one day. That's a year his contract done it as, I think, from memory, it was a 3-year deal, might be 4. So the boy's trying to play. For me, unfortunately, I don't think he's got the physicality to play what would be required because he's not exceptional. The boy's a nice football player, but there's more to it in that part of the pitch sometimes. And to have that frame and be that size, you need to be exceptional to play in that position. You know, there's no money. You know, you look at Modric last night. I think even he's a giant compared to Lyle Cameron. You know, they don't come along that often. Modric, no.
Well, if you're looking at him, you're talking about Cammy Devlin. You think he's not good enough to play for Rangers, right? But is he an upgrade in Conor Barron, who's in the team, who we went and got?
I would say
he's played more times. He's played. You know, is he an upgrade in Conor Barron? Because he seemingly fitted into the team where people were talking about him and he had a wee spell there when he started playing all right. Oh, he's back playing and he takes an injury, but. You know, you're looking at what we've got in the squad.
First 11 Southside.
With Conor Barron.
Yeah. If you were to get your squad together with Conor Barron, if we sign, I'll just pluck a number out there. It's going to be 12 players, and whatever we keep. It's Conor Barron in your first 11. Everybody's fit. Hypothetical, I know. Everybody's fit. It's Conor Barron in your first 11.
No.
Albert.
No. I like wee Barnes' attitude and his effort. It's 10 out of 10. You cannot fault him. I just simply don't think he's got the technical ability to be in a Rangers player, and he's no physical enough for me either.
You know, if
there's a difference. That's a good point. There's a difference there, Southside. Your wee guy Devlin and what you call him, Barron. I would roughly say the physique of them two are exactly the same, but the difference between the two of them is the nastiness. That's the difference between the two. Barron's not a nasty player, but he puts a hell of a shift in when he's on that part, and that's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. But your wee man Devlin does the same thing. He puts the shift in, but he's a dirty wee so-and-so.
You keep saying they'll get away with that in the Rangers jersey.
Well, we'll know. You'll see what we're talking about. We bring these type players in. We all know it. They'll get red cards all over the shop. But you play apart from that idiot plays centre forward for the Pedos. He seems to get away with whatever he wants. But it's one of the it's a dilemma, isn't it?
Listen, at the end of the day, if the manager wants the players and he thinks that's who's going to, he'll bring them in. That's my take. Everybody's got it. If that's what he wants, I don't think. I think we're looking for slightly better than that. I think we're getting caught up and maybe looking east all the time, mate, because they had a good spell. You know, there was a lot of reasons for that. I mean, they were out in all the cups early. They weren't in Europe. Didn't have to play a lot of football, so you don't get the same injuries. You don't get the same problems. Actually, they should have won the league, and obviously there was factors right at the end that arguably cost them it. But when we played them, we know how poor we've been, and we need to get better. And they didn't. We were poor against them and shot ourselves in the foot. When the first half, the game at Tynecastle, the game should have been finished. The other game at Tynecastle, we got a perfect game, good goal chopped off, and would have made it 1-0, changes the game. We might get beat 5-1, you'll never be able to answer that. The game they beat us at Ibrox was a joke, we know why. You know, and then we get ourselves back in the race when we 4-2 flattered Hearts. The boy Devlin, I don't think he was playing then, I think he was injured, he picked up his injury, but then I wouldn't be excited if he came and joined us, mate. In fact, I'll put it there. I would wish him all the best and want him to succeed and make me wrong, prove me wrong, but I wouldn't be excited. That's how I would put it. What were yourself, Southside?
No, I wasn't. I was just talking about, I was looking at the same size and stature. Like, we've got Conor Barron in there, and And you're looking at Devlin and what he's done. I don't rate him. I know he's about the World Cup with Australia, I think it is, and good luck to him.
He's a decent player, mate.
And I'm only talking about size when we're talking about Lyle Cameron. We were talking about these sort of players, right? When we were talking about Lyle Cameron going out and loan me, you're saying that done Curtis of all, they're good. And I was only asking you, Jenky, I've done Cameron. I think there's a big difference in how Cameron plays compared to a Barron or a Devlin. I think Chuck Whanney this year should be a better player. I think he'll be the main focus. I think when you get rid of Raskin, he'll be the guy that'll maybe go in and command the ball. And I still think there's a chance that we might still go in and get Lewis Ferguson and add him into the midfield with a couple of others round about. But I think Chuck Whanney this year will probably be the guy who can maybe go on in there and be the mainstay and dictate the way you can go on the ball and be the enforcer that we're wanting in there. And I think he'll have a big part to play. Because I don't believe Diamandi or Raskin, I think he'll be there. Maybe Diamandi might stay longer, maybe he'll be in January, but I've got a feeling that they two for me could go anytime. I've not got an issue with that. But I was just talking about as in the size of the players auction. Obviously Devlin's played a lot of football at Hearts and McKinnon's played him quite a bit, but I'm not saying for a minute we should sign him. I was just comparing them with saying like, well, we've got Barron in there about the same size and he does the sort of same job, same type of player. I think Devlin, Crawford, I think he's a different player. Lyle Cameron, I think he's a different type of player. I think he's a mere fine space, go on the ball. He's got a wee bit of ability. But then again, like you say, is he going to be good enough for long term, or is he all right to be that impact player that might come on and do a job for us, but not always start?
Right. Listen, it's difficult, mate, because he'll have an idea on what he wants to improve, and he'll not be able to find all the four corners right away. All better when he's shuffling that pack. Yeah.
No, I mean, he's going to think. He's going to think a way of how to do this. Building it, as I said before, building the team's no easy, but he needs to do it. I think it was Thelwell that came out with the term, or was that the wee CEO we get ready? What was his name again?
Thelwell.
Thelwell's him, but the other one. I think he came out with the term saying, we need to build a team. It's like building an aeroplane and still try to fly at the same time. And that's exactly what McInnes will try to do. He's trying to build a winning team, but win for the day one and carry on winning and then make the team better. We know all the parts in place yet. And as Southside said, it might take him 2 or 3 windies to get all the parts in place, but he still needs to win. A bit like Martin had to do it, and then your man Roll come in, basically he sorted out a mess. That's what he came in to do. And he done it reasonably successfully. Didn't win nothing, but that's part and parcel of it. But that's what's going to happen with your man, to what you're saying there. You're not going to get all your parts in the one go here. But whatever you get and whatever you've got, you need to mould into some sort of winning team. And that's what counts, mate. And then you can get the rest later on and make it into a better team. So where do you start? And we're back to that question. You always come back to that question. Where do you start? Who do you need? How much you go to spend? How many players you're going to bring in for that? What's your cap on any particular player? What's your wage structure going to be? How much you want to pay them? There's a limit to it. There's a cap there, so you're not going by that cap. So you go to all this. It's not easy. It's not easy. we suggest players all over the place. One player that I mentioned today, and I actually agreed, is the wee boy at Motherwell. No, the one we're all talking about.
How can we not sign big boys? How did it have to be wee boys? How can we not sign?
I know. It just seems to be that way, doesn't it? But the boy Just, I would sign him. I'd sign him in a minute.
The New Zealand boy scored 2 goals in the World Cup there.
Aye, he's a brilliant player, brilliant football player.
But the best football player, what's your name, was the boy Watt.
Aye, yeah. Well, that's what everybody's going for. What? But is he better than Raskin?
I don't know, mate, because I've not seen him week in, week out, but I've seen him against us and he played well.
Aye.
Yeah.
But my point is people say he's as good as Raskin or just as good as Raskin. We want better than Raskin. That's the problem. For us to improve this team and get us going in the right direction, you need better than the players that you're actually getting rid of. So if Raskin goes, I want better than Raskin. Diamandi goes, I want better than Diamandi. If Tab's away, you're going to want better than Tab. People tell you that's a good one, but the right back, they'll tell you, he scored all 8 goals. I don't want my right back to score. I want my centre forward to score all 8 goals. I don't want my right back. I want my right back to defend. And Tab was a poor defender. So the reason he didn't get a move is because he was a poor defender. That's what he's paid today, defend, and he can't do it. So, but he can score your goals, but that's not what you're paying him to do. That's just icing on the cake. It's nice, but it's not his job, basically. Aye. So, at the end of the day, you've got to think who we start with the goalkeeper. I ran out of things to say there, and I come back to the goalkeeper again. But that's who I'd sign. I'd find a goalkeeper.
It's not what having run out of things to say Southside, is it?
No, listen, we're flinging names out there. You look at maybe about the league who's had a sort of decent season. The boy Elliot Watt, he's a blue nose. He's no hidden the secret. He's got a bit about him. I've tried to watch him in the games that he's played against us. He fitted into that Motherwell system fine, the way they played, the manager had them playing. The boy just could be the one season wonder. But he's got ability. He's got 2 goals at a World Cup. And he might be a player. Everybody thinks we need these skillful, wonderful, skilled players, but don't you need a water carrier somewhere in the middle of the park of the team, or players that will come in and come on and they'll maybe play 35 games a season for you, but they might not start every week, but they might be in the team from time to time. Wee bit of rotation, and it's down to us in a system that Derek McInnes is going to play. He was probably looking at maybe players that we'll use A2 players for instance, right? He might have been looking at A2 players to see could he get them at Hearts from Motherwell. Now he might have looked at them, and then he's thinking, well, can they make the step up to come in and play in my Rangers team, even on a short-term basis, to give me something that I'm looking for? Because he'll have a set way of playing. He might have different systems that he's going to play. So therefore, he might look at one of the 2 players and think, I want him. The other boy, Massawici, or whatever he was, the big boy who played up front for Motherwell, he might have been looking at him to bring him to Hearts, so that I think, could he make a step up and play at Rangers? Or will he go? Because he's not costing a lot of money. They're right, you'll get him for £2 million. Is he the type of player that we've got, or we've got enough strikers as Shankland and Majowski be a good combination, and Adiri and Chimiti at the moment are a good combination, or will somebody come in and give good money for Chimiti and we might just flog him and not allow us to go and get another striker? But I think Majowski and Shankland might work quite well together.
I don't think there'll be 4 strikers there at the start of the season, mate, or by the end of the window. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Who that is, only time will tell. You know, Chimiti enhanced his reputation at the back end of the season, and you'll never know what exit clause somebody's got in their contract. Anyway, we're just going to go to our Jim before we just quickly go to the tune who's popped in. Evening, James.
Merry Christmas, lads. Hi, how are you doing anyway? You all right?
Is that a joke, Jim?
Aye. Wish it was Christmas, maybe it was still better title. Anyway. Nah, no bad. Everybody all right? Aye.
Aye.
Good.
Quickly, before we go to the tune, mate. What's your thoughts?
Just again, I think Americans have made 1 or 2 mistakes since they came in. 3 managers in a year. But I think we need a bit of stability within the club. I'm just a wee bit there. Again, I know it's probably only sound bites and a lot of forums and all the rest of it about regarding who he's after and all the rest of it. I'm a wee bit kind of alarmed by the kind of quality of players that I'm not saying he's not getting linked to them. Again, they're just kind of second guessings about McCrory's and all the rest of it. They all had their time at Rangers and they weren't good enough. I don't see how guys like him are now what we need.
Well, again, he went away and he's played at the top end of the Championship, so is that a better level than what we play in? We can. He's the captain of Bristol City, mate. Which don't poo him, mate. It's a big club, you know. Bristol's a big place. But I don't know, because we don't watch them week in, week out, you know, so I don't know if he has kicked on and he's at a different level and he would be better than he was before because he didn't get it developed. Then back to that argument. Anyway, we'll come back to you, Jim. We'll come back to you, mate. But
Okay.
Get yourself on mute because we're going to overtune.
It's a place of great fame. It lies to the northland, and Ulster's its name. It has only 6 counties, but all are renowned, and its emblem is a red hand, topped by the Queen's crown. Now the Germans came over in the year 41, and they tried to destroy us by bomb and by gun. But our history will tell them of others who tried. Our sons defended Ulster. They fought and they died. In a baby shoe sleep too. In his own rebel town, he will speak of our friendship. Why can't we be one? Just to point to the red land, topped by the Queen's crown. Say we're side by side with Scotland, and they won't let us down. Like brothers and sisters, that is all chose this one. That is ring to our Ulster, its heroes and sons. And while we are toasting to names we must join, that of William, Prince of Orange, and the banks of the Boyne.
Human.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Listen, Jim, you're going to get a lot of speculation. Which one of the things that's pleased me a wee bit of the club, when all the players came in January, bang, 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 it was sort of done. There wasn't a lot of speculation. So, look, some of it might be true, it might not be true. If you put 99 rumours out there and one of them ends up to be right, does that mean you're getting a lot right? I don't know if it is, but you're going to get a lot of speculation, especially with the new manager coming in. Albert?
That's one of the things I don't like the transfer window for. You just speculation. But see what Jim's saying, I'm agreeing with that. If they are the ones that are after, I'm not impressed with them either. I must admit, I'm totally underwhelmed with them, to be perfectly honest with you. Because we need better. We definitely need better. We need to go up at least one, probably 2 levels of player. Whether we can afford that remains to be seen. But if you're going to spread your budget too thin, you're going to end up with buying average players again, mate. So you've got to sort of say, right, we're going to have maybe 3 or 4 real quality players getting brought in, first team starters, and then we'll maybe have 2 or 3 no so dear, no so expensive, maybe even loan players coming in as well. So I think they'll go that way, because if you're going to go doing the spread the budget thin and just get £1 million, £2 million players of just the ones we're talking about. It's not going to work, is it? Let's be honest about it, because we've already got enough type players in the squad and in the club. So I think we need decent quality now, mate. We're wasting our time if we're not going to get decent quality. And don't get me wrong, we keep thinking we're bringing decent quality. I mean, we thought Asgard was going to be a player. Boys get something, but he's not the player we thought he was going to be. Not just him, Barjami's the same. We all thought he was going to be a cracking player. He's got ability, we know that, but he's doing nothing of any great note, and definitely no consistent enough, and that's not acceptable. But I agree with you. I'm underwhelmed, mate.
If only we knew somebody with a minibus taxi to take some of them, a group of them with the airports outside that.
Listen, you can go on about certain price. The player doesn't dictate the price. Clubs do. You want people. Derek McInnes will bring a mentality to the club. You'll bring working hard. You'll work hard in his team, and you'll have a mentality about you. Penrice, for me, I would bring back. I liked him when he had him at Hearts. He was at Livingston. I liked him. He'd be cover for Romans down the left-hand side, or the two of them could battle it out week in, week out, and give it a bit of competition in that side, to the left side of the park. He's worked with Derek McInnes. He's been at Hearts. I think he was decent. And I think he's one that I would maybe look at to bring back. He's playing abroad now. He didn't go for a lot of money, and I think he's got a good engine in him. He's got a good delivery. I liked him when he was at Hearts. He can play left centre back as well, which he played for at Livingston. But he was predominantly, McInnes made him a wide attacking, left-sided player, defender. And I think Romans and him would have a good competition on the left-hand side. I would just go and get Lewis Ferguson. I don't care what anybody says out there. I think he's the type of player we need. I think he'll come. He knows what it's all about. And if the price is right, what's that?
What if he says
if he doesn't want to come, fair enough. But you go and ask a question. You want to try and make. You want to get players in that are wanting to run, work hard for you, can pass. He's got a bit about him. I don't watch him week in, week out. But by all accounts, when Mota was there, Mota had him playing really well at Bologna. He won awards there. He's used his right mentality. He's went there, he's learned the lingo, he's learned how to talk Italian. He learned everything he had today, integrate himself into the squad, done everything that some players don't do. I think he's got the right family background behind him that know what it is to play for the club. He doesn't hide the desire for the club. And if he wants to come back at this age and bring his family back to Scotland, then I would go and get him. I don't see what the problem is. And if it has to cost us 8 million or something like that, if that's what the fee would be, or 10 million, then pay it. We have paid it out for other dafties in the past. We paid daft money out for. So it was well gone and buying somebody who would want to come and play for the club, would work under Derek McInnes and would follow instruction. Penrice would be another one. I'd go and get him and all, and add him into the squad. They two for me straight away, I think would be good additions. If the boy Luke Graham, if we go and get him, if there's still a bit of hang about him, not really seen much, so I'm not totally clued up on him. But if the scouting department's looked at him, and by all accounts, he's getting a lot of people looking at him through England and Europe apparently. If he wants to come to the club, and he's the type of player that we thinks we can get, then get. I don't think Fernandes will be McInnes' type of player. And so I think he'll probably go on all as the time goes on. So although McInnes, you want players with the right mentality to know what's involved when they come to the football club. That's what we need, because a lot of our players that we've had have had weak mentality, and they've all had it. There's loads of them in that squad that we've looked at, and you only seen it when it came to the last 6 games of the season. And it was questioned before, when Sterling questioned it at Dundee. And then you heard even Mikey Moore mentioning it when he was leaving the club, about certain people not having the right mentality. So that to say that, that's game for a young boy at 18 years of age. So it's been in that dressing room for a long time. McInnes will no stand for this nonsense. He'll get the right type of player in. He'll know why he'd be a failure. So I think it'll no matter about, he has to be this type of player, he has to be this wonderful skill. We've got Asgard out there that doesn't have any mentality, doesn't have the will to win, doesn't look like he wants to go in and crunch a tackle and do this and do that, but he can do a wee flick and he scores a wonderful free kick from time to time, and we can see he's got ability, but he's not got a heart. So, so we want players that'll go and play in it. You'll know a Derek McInnes team once he gets this up and running. Might take him 2 transfer windows, maybe even 3. But I think we need to do the biggest party in the summer. We need at least 10 players turning around.
Well, we do, because of the loans went out. Jim, in you come, mate.
I think we need to remember enough. We need a whole defence.
Aye.
So we do. Remember that there's a few of them going out of defence, and I think we need a whole new defence. But where I'm looking at is, I know what they're saying, but we want our Rangers back, and I'm sure McInnes will instill it. But I'm hoping, and I know we'll probably get laughed at. I think you might get a tune out of a few of these ones that we've been accused of not having a heart of a moose on it. I think you might get a wee tune out of the Asgards and out of your Gazamas and the rest of it. Remember a good pre-season under their belt. None of them kind of had that last year under Martin. Then it's short time under Danny Rowe. Good pre-season. Let's see where we go. I don't think we'll need. I know you're saying 10 players there. I don't know if we'll need as many as 10 players. But what do you think we need? I think we need
think about it,
four quality players.
Tav's gone. Bajiga's gone. Young boy, the young left back's gone. So there's 3 your first team squad at fullback. Yeah.
Aye.
It's 3 fullbacks, mate, and 2 centre halves. We've lost 3 fullbacks, 2 centre halves. That's no counting Davis. If you count Davis, that's 3 fullbacks and 3 centre halves we've lost.
There's been a lot of money left the club. There's a lot of wages, if you like, spare within reason, because a lot of people left the club. Will go it. There's players coming back that we're still going to move on, but I don't know. Listen, I don't deny that Barjami and Asgard have got ability. We've seen it. I mean, the two of them, I can't remember who it was against when Barjami scored that goal he scored. It was one of the lesser teams. Asgard scored 2 of the best goals you've ever seen. Yeah, he's up there. He's done it. But we've watched him for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you don't know he's on the park. And another one that can't run, Albert. Can't run.
No, he can't. I mean, his ability is no in question. You see, he has got skill, the boy. His attitude stinks. This stinks at times, man. And he just doesn't understand. It might be even, as Jim said, it might be next season he hits the forefront. You never know with any of these players. It might be took him a season to settle in. We've had our players before. It's took that long to settle in. You never know. But we can't get rid of them all. This is the thing. And you're right, he can't run. I was sick of watching players that can't run. It's just get us players that can run and can tackle and they're nasty. We're not wanting much, are we? But at the end of the day, it's he has to start somewhere. So you're right. We've not got a defence. The way it sits now, we've not got a defence. So we need to buy a defence and start with a goalkeeper. That's why I'm saying that he might look at it and go, well, he'll do me for this next season because I can't afford to replace him. I've got more urgent things to replace than the goalkeeper. But to me, the goalkeeper's the key to it. If you get a goalkeeper that wins Player of the Year or close to winning Player of the Year, you have more chance of winning a league than a centre forward that's scoring 20 goals. It sounds strange, but it's true.
Aye, anyway, we've enjoyed your Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Evening, gentlemen. Hope you're all well. No bad. Just thought I'd join in, but I hear that we're going to need to get a lot of players in. A full defence. Solberg says a new keeper, but there's a lot of players that's going to go off the books. Inciala and guys like that, Cifuentes, all these guys. We need to get these guys off the books, and I think I think there's a bigger job of work than people anticipate. You can't just keep signing players. And I think Derek McInnes is going to need to work with a lot of what's there. I think we're in a position now with the financial fair play after last year's outlay and the fact that we don't have Champions League football, that might start to become a factor. So we might need to nip and tuck. It might need to be, if no one in, one out. I mean, we've had a few loans going out, as has been said, but I don't think we can just go out and just start splashing cash and bringing in 8-10 players like we've been doing. I think we've got to be a bit more.
But look at the wages it's walked out the door. Big earners, mate.
Oh, aye.
Tavernier, Ben Davis, mate. All the guys in loan weren't on buttons, mate. You know, that Scott Wilson that we brought in, I know it was only a few months, yeah. I see his team went with him. Funny that, innit?
Aye.
They're no on buttons, mate, you know, and we'll see where we go for the league, mate. There's going to be a lot of way. And you're right, there is players coming back, and they're the hardest one to get ready because they're sitting in good money, and I don't think they've got some of them will get offered anything near but they're in our club. So what does that mean? Smurf?
Well, that means they're going to stay there and they're going to dig in and take a wage. That's Cifuentes. I think he's contracted to about 2028, 2029.
Danilo.
Off. What's it on?
Yep, he's still got, I think it's 3 years to go, mate. Yeah. Southside.
Needs to got to place Smurf, he'll get it. Enciala, listen, another one. I'm no. He might keep him. He might try to use him. Might try to utilise him eventually. Bassey was rough and wasn't ready, and then he became a decent player. He's got the attributes. He's got the physicality. Just whether he can find a place in the team in the long run, I don't know. We're short of defenders. He might have a look at him, and we'll just spin him. Certain managers obviously rolled in, they fancy him. Not to say Derek McInnes might like him. You don't know. He's young enough to be developed. But we'll wait and see on that one. But we need to gut it. And it will get gutted, I think. I don't think you'll... listen, you could sell Chimiti for 20 million, for talking sake, if that's the figure. You might get rid of a couple of players. Raskin could go for decent money. There's your money back in. You don't need to worry about fair play. Smurf, no, the money's in. You get 15, 20 million for Raskin, you get the same for Chimiti, then that's done. You know, you don't need to worry about...
It doesn't work like that. It's a rolling 3-year thing. And so you could bring in 100 million and it can still affect it.
I think we'll be all right in it. I don't think there'll be an issue, to be honest. I think we'll still spend money. And as long as we spend it in the right places. And like you say, we need competition. Buckland can't sit there week in, week out. If he is going to be the first choice goalie, and then you've got I know we gave another contract just to sit there and be back up, but it's no ideal for your number one, knowing that Kelly isn't really going to get much game time. Unless McInnes changes it, decides to play him, who knows? Stranger things have happened, but in the long term, I think we probably need a goalkeeper straight away, but we'll see on that. But like you say, we need centre-backs, we need wingers. I think the only thing we're overloaded in the new strikers. They'll be interesting because I think Shanklin will have a major part to play since we've just signed him. McInnes knows him well. We had him last season, and I think he'll link him. I think Majowski might benefit from playing beside Shanklin. Majowski knows where the good in the net is. He can finish, and maybe that's a partnership that might go together. I think Chimiti and Nadiri were all right. But then it'll be up to McInnes to see whether he likes Nadiri or no. He might be one of the players, we've not really talked about him, but he might be one that McInnes doesn't fancy. It might be the fact that he'll move on. So we don't know. We'll wait and see, but he's got a big job ahead, Jim. Smurf, sorry. He's got a big job ahead, and I think he's got to gut the place. He's got to gut it as much as he can. That's my honest opinion.
I always think, yeah, I'm amazed that you think it's that easy, mate, to get rid of players. But we don't get them again. They're highly paid, and we think somebody else is going to come in and take them all. But I just don't get it, mate. Would you take some of them?
Well, at that point's already proven with Cifuentes and Danilo and who else is coming? McCausland's coming back. All the players that are coming back at on loan. You know what I mean? It's proven, man. And they're nobody. Like you just spoke about Danilo. There's not a chance in hell he's leaving for any less than he's on at the moment. And his performance dictates that he's not going to get that money anywhere. So he's not going anywhere. He's going to do a Batondo. He's just going to sit there and let his contract run out, or as close to it as possible. I don't blame them, mate. I just think it's bad management for your point of view, that it's bad research, it's bad recruitment, because we looked at these players. Other people have looked at these players and nobody's getting near them with a bar's pole, and then we come out of the horizon with our bank book and go, we'll have a go at them, and then proving that other teams and other scouting departments, the other teams know have looked at it and have got it right, and we've got it wrong yet again. We've done it that many times over the years. I mean, it's countless amount of times we do this wrong. We think we're going to get a broken toy sorted. It's going to be brilliant. We've done it. We can't. Well, we've done it. I mean, there's endless amount of players we've done it with. Matondo's just seems to be the latest one on big bucks. Sat there for 3-4 years and done practically nothing. So are we going to do it again? But it's right. We can't just keep signing players, no getting rid of players and signing more and more players. This is going to have a bear on it. That you're looking at a squad of 20-odd players at the moment, say, and you're going to sign another 10, it could take it up to over 30. With no chance and no prospect of getting rid of the ones you really don't want. It just can't go on like this. And then next year, if these ones don't work out, you just keep going. They end up with a squad of 50. Can't be done, mate. It simply can't be done. It comes to a stage you've run out of space to sign players. And I think we're getting close to this. Okay, we'll go to replace the ones that are leaving. It's the 6 that are leaving, 6 or 7 that are leaving through retirement and on loan. We'll go to replace them. That's a given. But apart from that, you're running out of space, mate. You're running out of money and space. You can't keep doing it. It just doesn't work. You need to get it right eventually.
Aye, it's difficult. It's difficult recruitment, you know. If you take Danilo at the start of his Rangers career, I think we'd all admit he was unlucky, Jim, you know. But since then, the last maybe 18 months or so, he's just not looked at the standard of player we want. Now, whether he would have been if he hadn't got the 2 bad injuries, I don't want to do the boy a disservice, but I don't know if his confidence or his heart's been affected a wee bit. I don't mean his actual heart, rather than his desire, shall I say, because of who he got, you know. Jim?
I think the stuff might have been knocked out the guy. Again, I'm hoping on end that he comes in here and gets a good pre-season, and we'll see where we go. I agree with what you're saying there. I don't think we can afford to be going to sign 10 players. It's been total gross mismanagement in that football club over the last 10 years. And I think even these Americans, 3 managers in a year, that's not good enough. We need stability in there.
But is it the Americans' fault that Danny Rowe wanted to go to pastures new, mate? Have they done the right thing? The mistake was Russell Martin.
But again, a month ago he told us that Danny Rowe wasn't going anywhere. How all of a sudden did it change? We changed this.
You get an offer, mate. Have you ever changed your job, mate?
Aye, but
people change their job, mate. Yeah, he got an offer. He wanted to live somewhere else. He chose the offer. Nobody wanted to stand in his way. They're employers, you know. So it didn't work out. I mean, that's it. But the mistake, the big mistake, was Russell Martin.
Yeah, big thing.
Bizarrely's got another job. Albert.
Aye, that was the mistake, mate. But it rectified. Rowe got brought in to do a job. He done that job, but again, he didn't want to stay for whatever reason. We don't know, Jim. I mean, what's happened in the background's happened in the background. But the story on as I said before, 12 inches long. You've got a quarter an inch information to make a decision on what's been said. You don't know. You just don't know what's happening behind the scenes. But if he wants to go, he wants to go, and that's it. I don't think that was a mistake per se. At the end of it fell apart. Right. So that's one of the things we need to find. The reason why that McInnes needs to analyse that to death to find out, right, we need to find out what went wrong here, because if I don't get to the bottom of that, it could happen again. And we can't afford that to happen. But I agree with you, mate. It's been mismanagement with recruitment, mate. There is no doubt about that. And that's over 10 years. But you got to remember, every new group of managers or executives that come in have to clear up the mess that was went before. And if we're talking 10 years, we're really talking 15 years. And it's just get steadily worse, steadily worse, steadily worse. And they keep coming in, and they've got to, first thing they've got to do is sort out the mess that's went previous. And then if they make a mess, they've not completely cleared up the last mess, so they're adding to that again. That's what's been happening. So now we're at this stage. Now you're going, who stays, who goes, who realistically do we want to stay at the club playing staff wise? And there's no many, really. There's no many. I'd reckon they've got what, maybe 8 players, 10 players at best, that you really say, well, they're staying, we're keeping them. And I'd probably say out of that 10, 6 of them are the ones that are going to bring the money in with the transfers, so you can actually go and buy other players. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Is there anybody at your club, if the price was right, and I don't mean mental money, and I've got to Smurf then Southside can come in. Is there anybody at this moment in time you'd say, I reckon he's gone, but I'll miss him as a player at this moment in time?
No, not really. No, not at all. I think by and large they've been underwhelming. Look, the league doesn't lie. They finished third last year. So that's the standard of player that's at the club. Obviously, there's a lot of them got loads of ability, but miss other attributes, and some are certain points in their development as players. They're going to become far better players, and maybe even play at a higher level. But the sum of the parts last year was third place in the league, and so you're not going to miss any of them, really, eh?
Southside.
No, my answer's going to be in it. Not a chance. I wouldn't miss any of them. If the money's right and they go, they'll go. But again, what you're saying, we can't get rid of all these players. I know roughly what you're saying, and there's one or two I'll prove that pudding that it's been harder to get rid of them over the last periods of time. But I think players will move, and I think it'll be down to Derek McInnes who he wants to keep. He will have to start with 1 or 2 players who he might think will go, and they might find a place in the team, and it'll be up to them to advance their career, or else they'll go, or they'll drop it back out the team, and we'll have to find that in an area where they go out and loan somewhere and somebody else pays their wages. But at the moment, no, there is nobody. I think we've got a few in there that might attract attention, and people might come in for him. I mean, Ant-Man had a good pedigree before he came. He had a lot of assists and stuff like that. He's no kicked on in the team since we've brought him in. He's nowhere near the assist level that he had before he came to the club. So he might attract attention somewhere else, where somebody else might think, well, maybe it's just through whatever injury and no getting a chance. Other players manager fancied before him, we'll take a chance on him when we get the best out of him, and he might move on. So they might go and be successful somewhere else. So there's always that and all, but certain players who haven't kicked on, Gasman's the same. We attracted attention at Monaco January, but obviously we didn't want to sell him. But will they come back in for him? Is that a player that we could offload to maybe make space for a Finlay Curtis to get more game time, for instance? But down to the manager, he's looked at this Rangers squad, he's played against it, he's set up against it, he's watched all these players. He's got a good idea. But for me, Jim, he will cut this squad as much as he can, I think, because they aren't good enough and they've not been good enough. And we need a whole new defence. We need a goalkeeper. We need midfields, maybe not as bad. There's maybe players in there who'll stick me for a bit to see if we can get a bit out. And I think up front, if we don't sell, even if we sell Chimiti, I think Shanklin, Majovsky and Adiri, you would probably get by and maybe add one, maybe later on in the August, depending. But I don't think it'd be a major thing. We need to go out and buy a striker. I think we've maybe got enough wingers to cover at the moment. So I think defence, goalkeeper, and maybe midfield is where he'll be looking at to strengthen straight away, and see if we can offload the Raskins and the Diamandis and stuff like that.
If we only recruit defenders, mate, we're not winning many games, mate. Yeah, because if your theory is right and Chermiti was out the door, he was our only threat for the most of the last quarter of the season, majority of the time.
No, you're going to replace him with a penalty box striker, but in Shankland.
Who's going to put the crosses in? Because let's be honest, we've watched Ant-Man, we've watched Gasman, yeah, we watched what his name, the boy with the dread,
What?
the Norwegian boy. We watched them. We watched Berjami, mate. They don't do it consistently enough.
Olsen.
Scott Wilson plus the Asgard. We watched them, mate. We were relying on a boy who was 18 or on loan. Maybe at the start of the season, we wondered why we brought him. By the end of the season, we're pinning our hopes, the young lad. These guys aren't going to cut it, and getting them out of the club's not going to be as easy as people think. And you might have somebody turn it around. It's happened before, but they're not all going to turn it around. And I'll tell you now, the best for a lot of the players we'll get is getting them out on loan at 50% of their wages, and we're still liable. It's a big burden around my neck, and has been for years, because we've made that. It just keeps escalating. And if you really think, Danilo maybe sums up a 5-year contract. A 5-year contract. Jim?
Aye, you're right. That's what, again, we could do into gross mismanagement. My worry is, and I see it, I'm just not getting my head around this, that they want to get after players who they were after 2 years ago, who said no to us originally, but we want to keep going back to them. You see on all these Daft Rangers forums and all the rest of it, get back and get Seema, get back and get Cherny. Is our scouting network that bad that we can't go and look at fresh faces?
Yeah. Listen, I'm sure there'll be loads of data, mate, and then it'll be what their wages demands are, what they're looking for, mate, and if they're available, I think the data will be there, mate. And then you've got X amount, you talk to X amount of agents, and I don't know what the percentage will be, but it'll be pretty high, I'll bet. But no, I'm not coming to that league 4 times a year. Somebody grants plastic pitches, not enough for me, I'll bet.
Aye, the players you're going to get are the players that are looking for a decent wage that they wouldn't get anywhere else. That's what's going to come. That's a fact, and it's not the most attractive place to come. It's not the most attractive climate to come and play your football in. I mean, there's other places around the world that take it to be more attractive than here. So you're looking at that. You might be looking at players who want to develop their career. They can't get into the other teams, or they're looking to get a higher profile. Rangers can provide you with that to a certain extent, to a certain level, depending on how the team's playing and what European competition they're going to be playing in and how far they go in that competition. So they can provide that. But sticking players on 5-year contracts with really good money that we really can't afford to pay these kind of players that are giving you they're contributing what they're contributing, which is very little. You can't afford this. No club can really afford that. But we've just got too many of them. So what do you do? I mean, you're mechanics, you're the background staff, you're the executives, you're the executive management team. What do you do? How do you sort this out? We've identified all the problems. We've identified certain players, and there's plenty more that we could identify. So how do you start going about what we're saying? We need to build a team. That's a fact. We need to build a team. We all know that. How are we going to go about it? The first thing is get rid of players. How do you do that? Realistically, how do you get rid of these players, especially the ones that own big wages? The ones that own smaller wages shouldn't be a problem because they can get the wages anywhere. So you can tout them round of Europe to get rid of them. But the other ones, how do you get rid of them? Matondo's proved that you can't. You've just got to suck up. And as you say, there might be the best we can get is out on loan with 50% of their wages paid with the other club. We still liable for the other 50%. That might be the best. It's no ideal, but it might be the best. But where does that leave us with building our team? It leaves us weakened again to build our team because we've not got that money to go in to invest in the team. So it's difficult. It's really, really. I mean, we all talk about who we want, where we want, what we should be strengthened. But the reality of the situation, it's a really difficult thing to build a team. And it's difficult to balance the books, and it's difficult to get people off the wage bill that are not contributing nothing, absolutely zero to the cause. So I just sit there and say, right.
We talk about other ones, mate. Think about Ben Davis, mate. How much we paid him.
Exactly. I mean, I want to pick Matondo out because he's the one that's fresh in my mind, and he's took a real slice of money right out of Rangers. That wee guy, a real slice of money out of Rangers. So he's fresh in my mind, but he's not the only one. You can't just say he's the only one. I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse, but it's a fact that he's not the only one. What do you think? I mean, I love to come up with ideas and say, right, okay, I know how we're going to do this and I know how we're going to do that. I wouldn't have a clue where to start with this, mate. Not a clue. And I think the management team are finding that the same. And every other management team I've ever had in place, as Jim said, there's mismanagement now. But also there's restrictions on these management teams as well. It's not just a case of all easy. It's easy decisions to be made and easy solutions. So go on with it. There's no easy solutions and it's not an easy thing to manage. But we have to manage it. It has to be put into some sort of perspective. The mob across the city are in the luxury of going, they can make mistakes. They can make lots of mistakes, but they've got the leeway to get away with them. We're bar tight. A lot of it we're on making, but we're bar tight when it comes to these financial decisions we have to make. And there you go. Where do we go? So we need to be very careful where we start rebuilding this team, because whoever we bring in, we need to get, I would say high 80s, probably 90% of them correct, mate. You're never going to get 100% right. But we need a goalkeeper.
That's hard,
get
mate.
the goalkeeper.
That's hard, mate.
Oh,
that's hard.
Oh, definitely.
Aye. Southside.
Well, listen, Jim, I would take Tierney back. Right, not be the right age for a selling clause. We need somebody that can in, knows what the club's like. He's got a bit of flair, he's got goal return. He'd be a decent winger for us. He'd be a good outlet. And I think he'd be a good short-term solution. And if it brings success, I would bring him. You can hear that, we get down the road, we buy these projects, we get Gassimas in and all that, and they turn around, their attitude stinking, he pulls faces at the support and all that. Doesn't work hard, doesn't try. But he's got talent, he's got flair, and he's good in the odd game. You know, it depends. Every player you sign's a gamble. We've put Bjorn to be in a position. He's got a full-time performance director job now. He knows the Scandinavian market. We've been linked to a centre-back, the Swedish centre-back and a right-back, and then obviously we're linked with the Yank, who was a right-back as well. Now that's who we've been linked with in the last few weeks, and the names that have been coming up, and seemingly he's been responsible for two of them. We've got Dan Purdy in there still to do a job, along with Wells Boy and whoever else. So maybe McInnes will come in with a list, and he might be thinking, well, I'm going down this road. We'll know until we start to see the signings coming in. But I think if you brought in somebody like Penrice, I don't think it'd be an issue. I think if you brought back somebody like Tierney, it wouldn't be an issue. I think it'd be an upgrade in what we've got. And I think Tierney made a difference when he was in that squad and in that team. I think he'd be a good outlet for us in the wing. He's been here before. Seema, I wouldn't probably go back for now. I know he done all right when he was here, but it's no, I don't really want to really take many players we've had before and bring them back. But Tierney is one I would probably look at, because I still think he's got a lot to offer, and he's got a brain, and he had a decent goals return when he was in the team. He was quite effective, and I think on that right hand side, I think he would do a job, and McInnes does like wingers, but it might not happen. But if you're looking like that, they're the two that I know played in Scotland that I would quite happily see come in. Anybody else after that is a gamble, as like we've talked about. Some have worked, some haven't. You look at Asgard, he looked talented, he's got this and that. And where's his heart and desire? You know, where's that been all season on the park, getting the ball, bossing it, wanting to go on the ball and dictate a game? It's not there. So, you know, it's all right saying this player might not be suitable, that player might not be suitable, I might not want that player because we've had them before or whatever, but maybe one or two of the players that have played in Scotland before, and Tierney, I think, would be a good asset to your team. I wouldn't doubt Tierney coming back.
Mate. I like Big Seema.
I honestly don't know what he's done or even who he's way ups. But I would Tierney for me, I think he's got the right footballing brain, he's got the right mentality, and I think he done well while he was at Rangers. I wouldn't be bothered if he come back, maybe even played 2 seasons and was successful. and then he goes or whatever, maybe 3 depending on the age and how well he's playing. But I wouldn't have a problem with him. Because sometimes you need a bit of experience in that squad to build it and get players, and he knows what Rangers are about because he's been there before.
Jim, and you come, mate?
Aye, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. What about the wee thing that I flung in the other day there? Do you think he might go back again for the ex-captain? Same as he done with Shankman?
For ex-captain?
Aye.
Oh, no, I think that ship's
No?
sailed.
Oh, well.
Albert, get him to HR now. Make an appointment first thing tomorrow. Jeez. Come on,
He's
bro.
been that many times, by the way. They've gave up with him and went, nah.
I tell you what, he's hanging about with that AK and that Robert too much. That's his problem, isn't it?
Aye.
We need white flags this year, big man.
We've all got white flag tattoos for you, mate. We all got them done.
Aye. I've still got the scars there.
Listen, look, you go back to old players, you take new players, they're all a gamble. Journey, ability, great at times, yeah. Big Seamer, I genuinely believe that maybe Big Seamer's injury had a big part in Flom come on in that first season that we were on. He was a great attitude for a young guy. And by the way, quite a slow starter. The first few weeks you were scratching your head thinking, what have we got here, if you remember right, Smith?
Aye.
He took off and he just get better and better. And what an attitude he had, yeah.
Look, it was a game in, was it Bilbao, when he was on the left and all that hard running up and down, graveyard shift. Barisic. But with Barisic, covered for Barisic and getting forward and an eye for a goal. Full of hard running, full of power and pace, and actually really good in the air and good for a goal coming in that sort of inside left pocket and a level above anything that's there now. I mean, how anybody could say that they wouldn't take him back ahead of what's there now, it blow my mind. I'd have him back in a minute. And with Romans on that side and all, stop it. I'd take him back. But do you know what really sickens me about it all? We've got young boys and they've all got ability to get to an age group, right? And all Bears killed us to death. We never seem to bring them through. But there's no succession planning. There's no, say, let's say, take a player like Diamondi. We bring him in on a certain contract. We want to keep him for X amount of years, develop him, flog him on. There's a boy coming in the background, say, for instance, Bailey Rice. We'll put him out the loan. He'll come in off a loan, and when we flog him, he takes the slot, assuming his trajectory in terms of his development is maintained. There's no joined up thinking like that at all.
No, I don't think you can because of the very reasons what we've said, mate. Because you're firefighting with people with your paying wages, you can't help that succession planning. And at the moment in time, Bailey Rice has got that extension for us. He's going out on loan, mate. He's going out on loan. He's not starting in the Rangers first team at the moment, mate.
No.
No chance. No chance. In my opinion, my humble opinion. Albert?
No, he's no starting, but it's most right. The point he's making is that the whole of Scottish football is no got that. They're no thinking up. They're not doing the join up thing. It starts with your own team, of course. It does start with your own team, but nobody's doing this join up thing, mate. All these young players are just going to waste. There's they tell you that out of 100 players, young players that in the system in any teams, that you're probably lucky to get 5 of them out of 100, every 100, maybe even more. I mean, that percentage you can't be right. It can't be acceptable. And if that is, they're just accepting it through the fact that, they're not good enough. Well, that means that your youth policy is crap. What are you scouting these with? What have we got it for? We're using hundreds, 200, 300 players to get 5. I mean, that's nonsense, mate. That's some amount of wastage. That can't be right. It can't be right. But that is exactly what's happening. And we look at it, and we're looking at these young boys, and they never get through. They never come through. Why? Because they don't get fit. Well, they don't get developed. We think that taking them to Auchenhowie and getting them coaching, and then don't give them a game to play at the end of the week. After they've done all this training and all this coaching, they don't get anywhere to play. You go, oh, he's sitting in the stand. How is that helping him? How is he going to learn to play men's football when he's not playing against anybody? Man? In fact, he's not playing against anybody. He's just sitting in the stand. It's a nonsense. It's absolutely stupid. You had Warburton going on about when he was here. He was wanting to get a reserve team. He got shot down. Then we tried to get the teams in the lower leagues, get them into that. That gets shot down. Player, they didn't want that. It's Scotland being Scotland, know what I mean? Hate itself to death. We're not getting any chances to anybody. Why? Because it's Rangers. And it's our name. It's who we are. It's who we stand for. It's what our tradition is. They don't like it. They're never going to like it. So that's going to hold the whole of Scottish football back because they don't like it. But when we weren't there, their whole game nearly fell apart. Their whole systems all fell apart. You never had a full run in all of the league games or the league weekends that were played. You never had a full run. Not one. Ever. When Rangers weren't in that league. The only team that can fill every single run in the country is Rangers. It's been proven, mate. So there you're looking at it and saying to yourself, we're the ones that are trying to be innovative. We're trying to bring things on. We're trying to think out the box. We're trying to make it better. But we're the only ones. We're the only ones that's trying to make it better. But you need to do it in spite of all this more. We need to come up with a system that's in spite of them. I thought before to buy a team abroad, to buy a team abroad and put the players over there and let them play in the leagues over there, whatever there is, rather than be under the umbrella of the SFA. If we get away from that umbrella, that SFA, you'll be quids in, mate. You'll start seeing movement within your own club, because if you stay under that umbrella within this country, you're going nowhere, mate. Nowhere. And these young players are never going to develop. Sonny Southside keeps going on about the young boys. He's passionate about bringing these young boys on and giving them a chance. He's right. But they're never going to get the chance the way the setup is. It's hopeless, mate. Completely.
I mean,
hopeless.
you get the chance. Young Cutlass, right? He's went and he's developed and he's done well because the pressure's off and he's went and played. When you look back at the start of the season, he started okay. Then he had a few performances, and he never kept his position. And he did have cameos. It didn't quite work for him. But that's what you've got to do. Most young boys are like that. And if he wouldn't get the minutes to develop, so you have got to move. And you have got to do the boomerang, mate. You've got to go out and then come right back again, mate, at the right time for you, because that's what you can do. Because you can't play against men anywhere else, mate, because you're not developing your game. That's the problem we've got. Anyway, just getting back to what's happened at the club, Jim. We never got your take on it with Mr. McInnes coming in. Yeah, you never really said.
I'm happy because I think I want my Rangers back. That's what I want, and I think we need stability. Gerrard, I would have been happy with, but the Gerrard with the problem would have been comes in here, gets a couple of maybe one or two good seasons, maybe one, then he's away running back down the road again. And when somebody calls for him, he's going to go. I think under McInnes is never going to get a bigger job than this. We might need to get a bit of stability. We might need to bite the bullet, the south side, for maybe a season here to get the debts cleared and get in what he needs. But I think the club needs stability. And I think out there the new, he's maybe what's needed. Again, he's done nothing that other clubs. I mean, you look at Hearts. Hearts, for a reason, were top of the league last season for a reason, because Rangers and Celtic were that bad. He was kicked out of cups early doors. So, again, I think we need a bit of stability in here. And I think that's we maybe get our Rangers back. That's what I'm hoping to anyway. We get our club back, because the way things are going, it's no sustainable. Do you think these Americans are going to fling millions and millions and millions at every season? I sure they will.
Yeah, well, at the moment, you're right, they had made a few errors. The biggest error was, look, I don't suppose that the finish up Thirlwell's recruitment looked as bad. Moore was a success. He's got an asset in Chermiti, an asset in Fernandez, yeah. I'm trying to think of the rest that came in. Ant-Man, no. Asgard, no. No, assets. What I'm saying is if their value increased, I don't think so, yeah. The young left back that came in, which you could see he was a good football player, but get targeted in Scottish football. The Jigger improved for January onwards, and he finished his season strongly. So the recruitment was Majowski at the moment. I don't think his reputation grew last season. Maybe he'll prove us wrong this season. I don't know. So I think the recruitment last season was poor. And if you look back at that team when we played Bruges away, mate, we have to move on for that. And that team, the right back, the boy came in from Bournemouth, and we thought Norwich, and he was going to be set the hair on fire, take away on the right back. Oh, good, he can cover paid positions. Wow, what a letdown. I made him paying decent money for him, for our league. You know, so look, let's watch this space, and I hope Derek McInnes gets all the support, gets to get, if using Southside's statement, gets to gut, and everybody leaves, and everybody gets to leave the club that he wants to leave, so that the dressing room becomes easier. Because it must be difficult to do that, Southside, to handle a dressing room with just people hanging about.
Aye, you know, I think he'll come in and make it. Well, I think he'll come in and there'll be players who'll probably say everybody gets a clean slate and they'll have a look at you and all the rest of it. And then within a few weeks, you'll get to know what ones will be staying. There might be ones you'll come in and just think, nah, you'll no play for me. And that's it. That's what managers do. Tim, I think they won Cup, he won against us, did you know? I think he built a team. I think Aberdeen, he was trying to build things there all the time, and every time they kept selling his best strikers that he had and stuff like that. I think he's progressed as a manager. Listen, we couldn't win trophies and he couldn't win them at Aberdeen and that up against that mob across the city for a while. So I wouldn't be too harsh. McLeish came in here. He didn't have a great record before he came in, but he was a successful Rangers manager. And he firefighted after Advocate and spent all the money and bust the gut out it. And McLeish had to come in and be successful. So there's no reason why you can't come in. And you'll have money, he'll be backed when he comes in, McInnes. And if he gets the right players with the right mentality and that are willing to go out and fight for him, and that, then there's a good chance he will be successful. He's more experienced at this time, so which will give him a chance. He'll know how to handle these players that are hanging about. And if Danilo isn't a player he fancies, he'll say to them, listen, he needs to go. We need to get him a loan club, so let's find him somewhere to go and bring money back into the club. We can't have them sitting about. And listen, I think he will maybe give one or two players in time. But I think we've got to win the league. We've got to win the league next season starting anyway. There's no pussyfooting about here. We've wasted enough time, enough years. Nothing. I get nothing. So it's time. Time's now, Ox. You know what I mean? The time's now.
Aye, that's what you've been brought in to do, mate. He's been brought in to get one place higher than he got last season. That's what he's been brought in to do. All better, isn't it?
Aye, no one, two. he's going to win it. He's going to win it.
He's been brought in to get one position higher than he got last season.
Yeah, you're right.
Aye. It's been said. No more years, no more time. It's done. We're finished with time. It's got to be now. It's got to be now. The supporters have been patient way beyond which been you'd think's reasonable. It's they've backed the club, and rightly so. They've pumped their money in. They've done everything they possibly can. The supporters. It's time to deliver, mate. And no more excuses. We're not interested in players that I don't want to play today. I don't feel like it. Well, we'll just send them into the stands and we'll sort them out. We want players on there with heart and desire and will to win. And it's time we had it. We're not going to tolerate it any longer, mate. It's just got to be right now. It's just got to be right.
Talking about the support and going to the well again. What's your take on the new strips? Obviously, the first team, the if you like, the home strips been leaked and the away strips out there. Southside, quickly.
I don't mind a white strip, but I don't think it reflected anything that the club were talking about. The pinstripe strip, when it gets unveiled, I think it's alright. But I'm not so keen on the other ones. The training taps and that, the pinks and whatever, I'm no keen on them at all.
Is that because it doesn't match your complexion?
Nah, I've been lying in the sun too much, so it's nowhere near that. But no, and even the price of them, I mean, come on, I mean, even the price, 80 odd quid.
Oh, no.
You know, and if you want one that the players wear, it's about 120 quid and all the rest of the nonsense. And then Ashley gets to unveil it again for some reason. I don't know if he's got a sharing umbrella or no, but he's already got it out there and all, and we've suspended it until next week. I believe it's going to be the launch of the pinstripes, so he's got it in his shops now, so I don't know what that carry on still about either, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you still get some grip.
Must have maybe some deal strip wise, you know. I just didn't add up, mate. I think you'd like to think we put it out first and there's a queue in a bulk at the stadium to get it, mate. You know, because the Waynes will want it early doors, you know. But I had a pinstripe, but getting back to what was that? But that had been 81 strip, was it?
Pinstripe, give us a big John McClelland, didn't it?
Jim Beck strip, wasn't it?
81, 82.
How many league titles did they two win?
Aye.
You know, good players. Aye. But, aye. I will see, mate. It's obviously a strip's a strip. It's a heart in the strip we need. Last word for your good self, Smurfy boy.
Aye, listen, thanks for taking my call as always, gents, and good night.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Good, Jim.
Aye, thanks for taking us on. But I'm the south side. I wouldn't agree if every one of them was let out that door.
There's daily room. There's guys I would rather keep, but I wouldn't get upset. I get it. That's word for your good self. Albert.
Aye, right. I'm ready to talk about the fixture list now. I'm all set up. I'm all set up in my lists and all that. I've worked hard on this.
We go to the D United game. We won that. Then we'll look at the second one.
Each night for each particular game. It was good to know the night. It was good chat. It was missed it. You've missed it over the weeks, but it's good to be talking about Rangers again. Huh? But aye, I'm interested to see what happens now over the rest of the close season.
I think things are going to start moving, mate. There you go. I think things are going to move and start moving quick. Every summer seems massive. South side.
Aye, first a shout out to all the troops on the YouTube feed tonight that joined the show and participated tonight, so I'd like to thank all them out there on the YouTube feed. I agree with what Albert says and all start the season needs to be addressed before the season kicks off. The corruption in Scottish football, it's there for all the eyes of the world to see, and it's time it was addressed, and hopefully Hearts and Motherwell and us and everybody else will have a go at it before it kicks off, because it can't be allowed to continue, otherwise Hearts would have won the league last year, but they weren't allowed to win the league, so that has to be addressed at the start of the season. But hopefully that will change, but it certainly has to be spoke about, and hopefully Hearts will come out with something instead of just getting about with their manager and their captain. But aye, it's been a good wee night. It's always good talking about the Rangers. Looking forward to another wee holiday before the season starts, and then we'll cut back week in, week out, following the greatest team in the world that we all love and support. So aye, well, thanks for having us, and it's good today. I mean, unite with all your good self and have Smurf and Jim on. So thank you.
Yep. Thanks to Smurf and Jim for joining us. Of course, the one and only Albert and Southside for doing the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue in the background. Just watch it on social media. We'll put it out there and we can get people together. People's schedules are a bit different at this time of year. If anything breaks, we will have specials. Then we'll put the plan out for what we're going to do for the new season as we build up to the championship season. I'll say that at the moment, 26-27. Thanks to everybody for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take it away, Old School Blue.